Cancer, if you feel like you've drifted off course recently, take this as an opportunity to steer yourself in a new direction. Spirit has given me a lot of messages that are very powerful. We're going to find out what's going on with you and pull out some more cards. But the two cards that already came out for you as the theme of this reading, the Ocean and the Empty Room. And here Spirit is saying that what comes next is up to you, but sometimes that's the scariest part of it all. Because when we feel as though life is carrying us in directions where we don't know where we're going, that can feel disturbing, but it's like, what can we do? This is where we are. But when we know we have a say in the matter and we know there's something we could do to steer ourselves in a new direction, but we fail to do so, then a inner unease becomes apparent to us. We can feel that we're not taking responsibility or accountability for our own situation, or that we're not reclaiming our power in the way that we really should. And I feel like Spirit is saying now is a pivotal moment for you to either recognize you have already reclaimed your power and steered yourself in the direction you're meant to go, or depending where you are on this timeline, now is the time to do so. And with the Empty Room card coming through, this is a feeling of the unknown, of emptiness, of feeling unfulfilled, but also a message from Spirit for you to recognize the potentials and the possibilities to fill this void that you're sensing within you or around you with what you'd like to fill it with, not what others want you to fill this space with, or your mind with, or your body with, or your heart with, but what do you want to fill it with? And the Ocean represents our deep subconscious, our intuition, collective energies, collective magic and imagination, and also shifting and unpredictable changes. And I feel like, in a lot of ways, Spirit is saying what happens next, as I said, is entirely up to you. It's like you have everything under the ocean at your disposal. All the things you know, even if you don't know you know them, are coming to the surface for you to understand what happens next. And I feel like for a lot of you, you're feeling this more as a emotion or intuition, a sense of unease, or maybe that emotion fluctuates, feeling different things at different times. But still there's this sense of, okay, but now what? What does this mean? Where do I go from here? And it's your choice. Sometimes when we're seeking answers and we're not receiving them, whether that's like, hey, I need a reading now, but there's no readings available to me on YouTube Tarot Land that are speaking to me. I get there too. Or whether it's, Spirit's not talking to me, I'm not seeing signs, synchronicities, and I need that guidance. Those are the times when it's quiet and we can't hear anything, that we really need to go within and discover our inner voice, our inner knowingness, our inner calling, and listen to what it has to say, rather than trying to find answers external to us. Because the answers that are given to us in the external world, they're only really answers for us if they resonate with our inner voice. So if we can't hear our inner voice, then the guidance we receive external to us, how do we know even if we should trust it or not? Do you know what I'm saying? So I received some messages here for you, and this makes sense now, what I got. Because the first thing I got was, when the night comes and the dove's song can no longer be heard, reach into your heart and retrieve the fire that burns within. And I feel like this is what Spirit's talking about. When the dove's song can no longer be heard, maybe this is guidance or a sense of peace, and night falls and everything is dark and unknown to you. There's mystery, but maybe a little bit of fear as well. We have to reach within, go within, and find that life force that burns within to be the torch that guides us. And I'm seeing someone on a raft drifting through the ocean here with a torch. Something about Medusa's raft. I think that's a painting. Okay, maybe Medusa is important for you. I also heard that it's important that you keep warm and cozy at this time, and this feels very literal. So if you're feeling cold, warm yourself up. There's something about feeling comfort that is really significant. And then I got, you chose this path for a reason. What is the reason? If you believe, like I do, that we choose our realities, sometimes we choose them subconsciously, sometimes we choose them consciously, and sometimes our higher self has a plan that we're following through and following out. Okay, and we don't see the bigger picture yet. But if you do believe that you chose your reality and your life and your circumstances for a deeper spiritual meaning, why? Why did you choose this moment to experience? What is it that your soul wants you to do right now in this moment? Why are you here, wherever you are? Or maybe why are you here in this reading? What is the reason you chose this path? That seems to be a guiding question for you. Then when this card Ocean came out, I asked myself, what if you're not near the ocean? Because I was getting stuff about like, go to the ocean, go to the ocean. And Spirit said, close your eyes and find it within. The ocean is always within you, which makes sense because the ocean represents the subconscious. But maybe this is a visualization practice that you could focus on, is to close your eyes and find the ocean within you. I have been receiving a lot of random information the last week about how healing the ocean is, the salt water, and even the rhythmic waves and tides and listening to the waves. So there's something very healing about the ocean itself. So if you can get to the ocean, of course, go. Definitely go. The ocean gives us a lot of perspective, I feel. Perspective about how much we don't know, but that still exists. How much that we can't see, but still exists. Where we come from and how we're all connected. And how we really do need to trust our intuition and the stories that we've told ourselves about what really happened. This is what I'm getting. Okay, Cancer. I also got some numbers here, 444, 437, 484, and then an iris. And I looked up in one of my symbols books, what does iris, the flower, mean? And it said something about like, I miss you, my friend, or something like that. It was something about a friendship. So there's a friend who misses you, or there's an important friend of yours that wants to come through in this reading. Okay, Cancer, let's get in further and see what else Spirit has to say to you. I hope you guys have all been doing well. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Andy. This is 13 Moon Tarot. My Venus is in Cancer. You can watch for any Cancer placement. It doesn't matter where it is in your chart. Yeah, so let's oh, interesting. The cards are all kind of facing all random directions. Okay, perhaps that's part of the energy. Things are seemingly out of order, maybe a little surreal. The Dreamer card. Okay, let's get in, and I'm just going to keep this to the side and see what energies are supporting Cancer at this time. Cancer. Some of you have your North Node in Cancer. Let's see. Energies supporting Cancer. Winter. There's that fire from within. Stay warm, stay cozy, because there is a coldness that you could be feeling at this time when the night comes. But see, it's in your supportive energy. And winter symbolically represents death. It's yin energy. It's time to go within and see what needs to be harvested and what needs to be, well, I'm hearing wasted, let go, to decay. Let's see, there could also be some, I'm in the Northern Hemisphere, so if you are too, there could be something about the upcoming winter that is significant for you. So let's see, also the ocean doesn't freeze, most of it, doesn't freeze in the winter, which is something to consider and think about. even when it's cold, or especially maybe when it's cold, our subconscious remains active, our intuition is active, our emotions are still there. There's somebody around you who does not display emotions or has a harder time accessing emotions. Your emotions are not a weakness, they are a strength. Ascension, winter and ascension, that burning within, reach in that torch. So in order to ascend, there's something that, this is the big narrative over and over again. In order to ascend, we have to let something go. The amount of times I've heard that, it's kind of exhausting, but it's true. So we have to ask ourselves, what does need to be let go? And sometimes it's not the obvious thing that we think. Other times it is. But sometimes it's just a subtle way that we're looking at a situation or the way that we feel about ourselves. My hand's kind of getting a little bit tingly here, a little bit numb. Something that we're numb to, that we're holding. Yeah, something we're numb to that we're holding on to. Interesting. So perhaps there's a situation that you've kind of numbed your emotions to. It's not affecting you. Yes, this is why Spirit's talking about emotions not freezing. So why let it go? Or maybe you don't need to let it go, or you have let it go because you're numb to it. But I think Spirit is saying here that, are you sure about that? Are you sure you've totally let it die away, decay? Reach into your heart and retrieve the fire that burns within. Shed light, maybe, on something that you've been avoiding or numbing yourself to. We can numb ourselves in all sorts of ways by focusing our attention to places where, we just zone out. We turn into zombies, social media zombies. That could be one way. Or maybe there's an addiction, or we just refuse to look at something. I do this too. Of course, there are things in life that are painful and uncomfortable and we don't want to deal with. And we just distract ourselves, divert our attention until we can't take it anymore. Or something happens where we're focused, I wanted to say, where we're forced to focus on what it is that we've been concealing from ourselves. And I'm filming this right before the eclipse. And of course, this eclipse energy will bring things to the surface that we have been eclipsing and not wanting to see and focus on. And I feel like the reason this reading's coming through for you, Cancer, is because you have some great, magnificent, fantastical, achievable dreams. And I feel like in order to get to the good stuff here, we need to clear some kind of way. We need to clear out the path. Now, I don't feel like this is necessarily a hard thing for you to do. It could be for some of you, depending on what your situation is. But I feel like for a lot of you listening to this reading, even just taking a moment right now, a second, 30 seconds maybe, to think about, am I numbing myself to any emotion or thought or feeling or experience that has caused me pain or difficulty or worry or stress or anxiety? Am I refusing to face something, deal with something? And if the answer is truly no, then perhaps you're further along on this timeline and you've already gone through these difficult parts of it. And congratulations, that's amazing. But for some of you, most of you, you're still in this part, and I am too, in a lot of ways in my own life, right? Like, this is a common thing people go through, where we have to continually face what challenges us and really see it for what it is. And it doesn't have to feel miserable. We can keep warm and cozy in the process. We can care for ourselves as we do this. When the night comes and the dove's song can no longer be heard, reach into your heart and retrieve the fire that burns within. You chose this path for a reason. What is it? So I feel like a revelation wants to come through or is happening for you, where you realize why you chose a certain path that you did. And I can tell you, it's for a big, good reason, and there is a benefit for you. So let's see the challenge, Cancer. Your consciousness is ascending, meaning you are becoming more consciously aware of what holds you back from getting what you desire. And when you're more consciously aware of what's been holding you back, you can do something about it. Strength in reverse. Awe and wonder. Don't take anything for granted. There are many amazing things to come. I feel like this is the ocean energy. It's kind of the same colors too. It's like the ocean is a place of awe and wonder. It's so vast, so mysterious. It's both frightening in a sense and also so welcoming. The dual nature of this reality is that there are valleys and peaks, ups and downs, hard times and amazing things to come. Okay, let's see. Divergence and resolve. Yeah, look, Cancer, this is what I'm saying. There's some divergence in the energy from you resolving something that you're quite capable of resolving. And I feel like maybe it's because you don't have physical strength right now or mental strength, or you're just feeling run down, you're busy, you're helping everybody with everything, you're doing your Cancer thing. You're taking on a lot of energies. You're absorbing a lot of energies. I know, Cancer, how intuitive you are. And as an intuitive person myself, sometimes we pick up on all sorts of things that can make us feel exhausted, so exhausted that we can't even focus on our own growth. For example, I just had a new neighbor move in, and I didn't realize that they were there until much later. But I felt all kinds of like strange energies, and I didn't know what was going on. And then, things happen. I put two and two together. And I realize, okay, I'm absorbing a little bit of stuff that I don't need to. And I feel like the same is true for you, Cancer. But beyond those external absorptions of other people's energy, you could be dealing with a lot of personal things as well that are making you feel like you don't have the strength, courage, or energy even to resolve some difficult things in your life. And so it's more comfortable, easier, tempting to diverge from the hard path of resolution. And the path of resolution is often quite difficult. Why? Why, Spirit? Why is the heart? Why? Wheel of Fortune, because it requires us to change something that couldn't be resolved before because there was no change, to step into a new cycle. Also, when we have a resolution, it's closure. It's it's an ending. And we step into a new beginning. It's like, wow, that cycle's over. So what's next? I'm so used to things being this way. I'm so used to this thing happening. And now it's over. So who am I now? How do I define my life, my love life, my career, all of those things now that everything's been resolved and changed? Butterfly, Two of Pentacles. A new cycle begins. You ascend out of the old one, the sun, and there's growth. Okay, Cancer, let's get in further and see what's going on. My foot's asleep now. Okay, so let's see. The child just popped out. Maybe there's something happening here with a child. or your inner child wants to come through in some sense. Okay, the inner child is the dreamer here. Let's get a couple more of these cards before we start with the tarot. Spirit, is there any more information we need here? Mortality in reverse. I've been thinking a lot about death and aging and people who are in their last bits of life, and what does that all mean? There's been some existential thinking I've been doing. Perhaps you have too. Power, mask, and mischief. Okay, we're getting specific here, and I'm getting a clear message, and this is probably only for a very, very few number of you. But there's something about power of attorney here in a situation you need to be aware of, or you need to be on top of that situation. There's something going on there related to somebody's health or life in which somebody has power and they're maybe abusing it or using it. I know that's super specific. It could be a metaphor, of course. Maybe you're giving away some power of attorney, in your life to somebody who doesn't really have your best interests at heart. This could be even a shadow aspect of yourself. But if that doesn't resonate, that's okay. Tell me about this. The healer. Love and creation. There's an energy around you, maybe it's personal, maybe it's in the collective, that doesn't want to see their power end. Their power in your life, their power in their life, I don't know. But it feels like they're creating some kind of mischief, they're disguising their mischief so that they don't lose their power. The resolution, the answer is the healer, love, and creation. Which I'm not entirely sure what that means, so hold on. Three of Cups, the Five of Cups in reverse, and the Two of Pentacles. The Ace of Cups. I feel like Cancer, love is on your mind. And it's not on your mind for no good reason. There's a reason why you're thinking about love. Because we heal through love, through the frequency of love, whether that's love from spirit, the universe, from our animals, from our siblings, from our parents, from our children, from our lover, from our friends. We heal one another when we communicate and share and resonate with one another through the frequency of love. And there's some situation over here that feels like it's very hard to put on the same wavelength as love, right? This frequency is not the one who's creating mischief, perhaps a little deception in order to maintain power. It clearly is not operating through the frequency of love, but rather through the frequency of fear. So you're being asked to balance this out, to counter it by putting your energy into things that bring you a sense of well-being. This could be surrounding yourself with support, people who understand you, people who are willing to listen to you, have good advice for you, or maybe that you have for them, to create some kind of network of healing or some kind of feeling around you that is comfortable, because you need to navigate some other stuff that is way more important than handling this kind of mischief I shouldn't say that. It's not way more important than handling this mischief, but it's more important than prioritizing this person's energy. And how you should address them is what I'm hearing. Mother of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. It seems every time you find a sense of solace or security in your life, somebody else takes it personal or has a problem that suddenly shakes you out of your comfort and security. And you need to build some kind of boundary around that. Okay, I'm going to leave that there because I feel like the message is getting a little bit tricky and to discuss in a general context. So I'll leave that there and let's get into the tarot. I am going to do an extended reading though, and I'll go further in. If you can't go to the extended, don't worry about it. Just trust that you received all the stuff, all the good stuff here that you need. But if you do want to go along, there'll be a link for that in the description box below. Okay, Cancer. Let's see what you can see about this at this time for Cancer's spirit. I'm hearing the letter R, maybe Rob or something like that. Or Rochelle. Something with an R. Sovereignty of water. That's the King of Cups for your overall energy. Good. So you are on that raft in the ocean, or the rock on the ocean. In the ocean, on the ocean. Are you in the ocean or are you on the ocean? Are you on the surface of something or are you in it but stable? Are you in the situation, in the feelings, but finding yourself stable? Okay, let's see. Let's keep going. Ooh, yeah, second time the sun has come out. This time that's for what you don't see coming. I love that for you. The Elder, the Emperor. I'm getting something like, sometimes we feel it's very noble of us and that we're fulfilling our higher calling by giving all of our energy, or a significant amount of our energy, most of it, to help someone else or to untangle someone else's web that they've woven for them, simply because we know we can. And therefore we can help someone, we can be there for someone, we can heal perhaps a situation or extend our energy to help heal a situation. But at what cost? Sometimes in our efforts to do that, we undermine the love that we are meant to give to ourselves first and foremost. So it feels to me that Spirit is saying you are, or it is necessary to take some time for yourself. You've come a long way and you need to keep going forward, or you need to keep ascending on this path where you are continually coming back to yourself and saying, no, wait a second, I'm dealing with something, I'm working on something, I can help this person, or I can work on this situation, yes, but not to the detriment of my own process. There are people in this world who don't think enough about other people, okay, and they need to do that to really understand that all are one. But then there are also people in this world who do too much for other people. So we want to strike a balance. And it feels like that's what you're working on right now. The Sun for what you don't see coming. There's going to be a lot of attention on you soon, Cancer, in one way or another. Look at these spotlights. And the attention you receive is going to be, or has the potential to be, about your growth, about your wisdom, your knowledge, your ability to handle a situation with flexibility, with love, and with ease. There's something about your curiosity that is going to be illuminated as a positive trait and quality. You find something special to put in this empty room. You go in deep into the ocean, you find the treasure, and you bring it back up to the surface and place it in this dark, empty room. And it begins to shine and glow. And this creates awe and wonder for other people when they look at you or look at your accomplishments, look at your work, or just when they're around you. There's some situation where you are going to shine a big light. This is your opportunity. But in order to do this, you have to have that time to go into the ocean to find the treasure. And I feel maybe this will inevitably help resolve something over here with the mischief and the mask. But the priority is to first go into the ocean. It's to first find that fire, retrieve that fire that burns within. To find out why you're at the critical juncture that you're at. Why did you choose this moment? And maybe you came to tarot readings to find out why, but only you really know why. And someone else telling you why is, how do I say that? If someone else were to tell you why you chose the path you did, I want to be careful here, Spirit. Well, it's an overreach. It's an overreach in somebody's maybe psychic abilities or healing abilities to tell you why you are at the point you're at. That's only for you to discover. If someone else was to discover that for you, it wouldn't ultimately feel like your treasure. Okay? So what you don't see coming is some kind of big success, some spotlight on you and what you're presenting, what you're achieving, what you're putting in this room. There's revitalized health. There's success, a win. This is a feel-good moment coming up for you. When the night comes and the dove song can no longer be heard, right? So you do go down and you reach within and you find that fire and you bring it back up and the day comes again, the sun. Okay, so your opportunity, 7 of fire. Let's find out more about this. Now, the 7 of wands can be about standing your ground against all odds, proving your point, holding your head high in the face of persecution. Let's see, what is this about for the opportunity? See the 2 of wands, but I'm very focused in on the image in this card. There's a world map and a letter, a message here in someone's hand, an airplane. It says Southern on it. And the ocean, of course. I'm seeing the Atlantic Ocean here. It says. Your opportunity is to receive a message coming from afar. You have the numbers, or the letter D, and the numbers 8096. That might mean something for someone. There's a choice coming up for you, and you're being given some information to help you with your stance. Let me go further in. Tell me more about this opportunity. You're way more determined than somebody else, Cancer. If you're in some kind of conflict or difficult situation, or you come up against something where you feel like it's you versus them or something like that, you're way more determined. Four of Cups. They're kind of just hoping for the best, where you are determined to make the best happen. You're putting in the work, and they're just arrogant. I want to say they're just a little arrogant to think things will go their way. King of Swords. What matters most is that burning, fiery passion that you bring to the table, that you bring to your life, that you bring to yourself and those around you, and that zest of life that you have, that magnetic zest of life. That's your strength. You know, when you come out of your shell, everybody wants to be around you. Everybody sees you. You're spotlighted. And of course, that can make you want to go back in your shell at times. But this other person or some other energy might have logical arguments, a clear and calm way of communicating, or they're very cerebral in some way. But that's not what catches the awe and wonder of others. It's your fire, your passion. So your challenge is the Four of Fire. There's some announcement being made. Some message, some announcement. Could be about a home or a union. Tell me about this announcement. That's the challenge. Alchemy, which is the Temperance card. I heard strike a deal. Someone might want to strike some kind of deal with you. But just look out for their mischief and their desire to have power in a situation. Something might seem urgent, some kind of announcement, but there's more time than you think. And this is important for you to know because you need some kind of time right now or space to do something important for yourself, to find the ocean within you. Tell me more about the challenge. Eight of Air. Yeah, I feel like the devil. Okay. So somebody's saying some big announcement. Hiri, Cancer. I don't know what that is, but maybe it's past life energy. I don't know. Hiri, Cancer, pay attention. There's this big thing happening and we need you right now, or this is urgent. And, you know, it's like some sense of urgency or someone trying to desperately get attention when there's more than enough time for you to come towards it at the right time. And I feel like there's some kind of force, energy, person, whatever it is for you, that is creating some kind of urgency to heighten your anxiety or fear, or make you forget that there is a treasure in the ocean, to make you forget that the ocean is within you and that it's not going to drag you down. You're not going to be caught in an undertow. The room is empty, but you have something to put in there. I don't know what all this means metaphorically for everyone, but this is what I'm getting, okay? So hopefully it helps. Because I do feel like someone's trying to give you some kind of anxiety here. And again, this could be an aspect of yourself. Probably there is a part of you that is creating more anxiety than is warranted. Some of you might be having some kind of anxiety-like responses, and you're not sure why. This is part of why you need to go within and find out what's going on so you can alleviate that feeling for yourself. Let something go. Like, I feel like there's some physiological feeling you have or emotion that might be linked to something that you're not thinking it is linked to. Maybe this is a trauma of some sort. And it's like you need to cut that link, like sever the link. You might be linking an old trauma, fear, frustration to a new situation subconsciously. You need to figure out that that's what's happening so you can cut that cord, cut that link, so you can deal with the new situation without the fear being brought up by the past trauma and pain. Yeah, there's something for someone, there's something like that going on. Again, just considering these ideas and possibilities will be helpful for you. And then, of course, others of you will take bigger actions too to help sever those cords that need to be cut. Okay, your advice: emergence, awakening, ascension, the butterfly again. Your advice is to realize that no matter how big or small your current worries, situation, fears, happiness, awe, and wonder, all of it, no matter what scale this is happening at for you, it's important. It's part of your awakening. There's something emerging here in your aura, in your field, in your heart, in your mind, in your essence, the sun. That is very positive, proactive, and strong, confident. Let's see, what is this that's emerging? Two of Water, that's your card, Venus and Cancer card. Your frequency of love is coming back up to the surface, is coming online. It's getting stronger. And that's where the real messages come through. Messages from your higher self. I feel like there is definitely love in the future or in the present moment for you. But this is the kind of mature love that requires loving your light and your dark side, your shadow and your higher self, and that of another as well, which doesn't mean accepting their bullshit, but it means seeing someone without rose-colored glasses, seeing someone whole as they are, faults and weaknesses and all, and still loving that part of them. But again, this isn't to say anyone love, like, extend all of this to someone who's abusive. That's not what I'm saying. But let's stick to you then. This is a union with yourself and understanding how complex and dynamic you are. It's not light or dark, it's both. It's not either or for you. Either you're a good person or a bad person. Either you care or you don't care. Either this or that. No. You can be all of the things at any time. You are what you are when the time is right. When the emotion fits, that's what you are. Interesting. What's going to manifest in the next 3 months for you, Cancer? We have, are you ready for this? 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Earth. Look at you jumping over this rope. It reminds me of, what do they call that? Limbo. Yeah, so maybe you feel like you've been in limbo. Is it the limbo? I think it's the limbo. Where you go underneath the thing and you have to break your neck, basically, break your back to go underneath it. You're like, I can jump over this instead. Because I'm not in a limbo here with myself. I'm growing leaps and bounds. So you're jumping over some kind of obstacle, or you're finding a different way to approach a situation. I feel like it's actually fun in some regard for you to do this. There's wealth, there's success, there's foundation, there's commitment, there's new energy here. There's success. Did I say that a million times already? Ace of Fire. Oh, I love it, Spirit. Because you went into the heart and retrieved the fire that burns within, the torch. It's hard, but it's not hard. It's only as hard as you make it. So just sit with yourself and spend some time asking yourself some questions. What am I numbing myself to? Where am I giving too much of my energy? Et cetera, and find out why you're doing those things. Not just that you're doing them, but why. What are you scared of? Is there somewhere you could change? And then try to make some just small. You don't have to make massive changes, just small shifts. Instead of giving 3 hours, give 2. Instead of thinking this way about something, give your mind a break from that and think the other way, and say, okay, if that doesn't work, I'll come back to my old pattern. Give yourself some flexibility, some movement, some flow to explore your own inner workings, because that's what it means to retrieve the fire. All right, Cancer, this is a really strong reading about your growth, your spiritual growth and your ascension. So I hope that helped you. I love you so much. I'll see you next time.